Hey, Algebra 2. Welcome to one of my favorite lessons of all time. This is one of the things I feel like I'm stealing from math. Okay, I just feel like I'm taking something because I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying you don't have to make it harder than it is. What am I talking about? I'm talking about LFR4 point slope form. We'll get into all the definitions and stuff like that when we get into some practice. But for now, we're working on another linear form of an equation called point slope form. LFR3 was slope intercept form. So the two things we needed there was a slope and an intercept. Well, this one's called point slope form. So I'm just using my powers of deduction. This is why I love math people, right? They tell you what it means. I need, for point slope form, I'm probably going to need a point, and I'm probably going to need the slope. Okay, here's how we get point slope form. Okay, let's say I know mine looks a little bit different than what you guys have. That's okay. I am deriving it my own way. Just watch this. Don't worry about writing this in your guided notes for now. Okay, I know slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of call this y minus y1 and x2. I'm sorry, just x minus x1 on bottom. What I want to do is I multiply both sides of this equation by x minus x1. Okay, I can do that. And if I do that, these simplify to 1, and I'm left with y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, when it comes to point slope form, this is where you put your slope in m. This is where you put your point, x1, y1. You leave the x and y alone when you're done. Mr. Brayman, what are you talking about? Just hold on. Just hold on. Okay. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to ignore that first part. I want you guys to look right here. The line with the slope m that contains the point x1, y1 can be written in this form right here. That is exactly what I told you. Star this, put a box around it, put hearts. It doesn't matter what you do. You just got to know that this is the important part. Okay. So again, the line with slope m, slope, that contains the point x1, y1, there's my point, can be described by the equation y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay. If you need that, write it down on every page for a little bit until it becomes second nature to you. Let's look at these examples, okay? Write an equation in point slope form for each line. The slope is 3.5, 3 and 5/10, and negative 3 comma 2 is on the line. This is our m. This is our x1, y1, and we just plug those things in. Don't do anything to it. Y minus y1, y1 is 2, so we plug that right in here, equals m, which is 3.5, 3 and 5/10, times x minus x1, which was negative 3. And then if we can write the plus 3. That's it. Stop right there. Don't solve for y. Don't do anything else. That is point slope form. That is point slope form, and it's purest right there. Okay, let's look at one that we're gonna do. I'll do it with you guys this time. The slope is 0. It's kind of a bad, you know what? Yeah, we'll leave it. Slope is 0 and negative 2, negative 1 is on the line. We'll do another one. That's okay. Plug in what we know. This is m. This is x1. This is y1. y1 is negative 1. M is 0. X1 is negative 2. I don't necessarily like this example. We're going to run with it though. Minus negative 1 is positive 1. And 0 times all this stuff is just 0. So if you've got a 0 slope, that's what point slope form would look like. Okay. I don't want to end there. Let's go to another one. Let's go to the next page. Okay. I'm going to ignore the reflect question for now. I'm going to ignore the reflect question for now. I'm going to says write an equation in point slope form for each line. Okay. If you need to, rewrite what slope or point slope form is. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay. So Again, slope is our m. 1, 2 is going to be our x1, y1. So plug in what you got. Y minus y1, which is 2, equals m, which is 6, times x minus x1, which is 1. And that's it. 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 Don't do any more. Don't do any more, okay? That's it. Pause it now. Look at number 4 and then come back. Gonna do the awkward pause. I'm staring off into the distance thoughtfully. Okay, you've done number 4. Fantastic. Let's double check it here. This is our m. This is our x1. This is our y1. So y minus, here, make sure we know which problem we're doing. Y minus y1, which is 1, equals m, which is 1/3, times x minus x1. Minus a -3, we could rewrite that to give +3, and that's it. Don't do any more. Just don't. That's it. That is point slope form. That is an acceptable way to write an equation of a line if they're asking for point slope form. I know, right? Okay, let's look at some examples with models. So I know I wrote on this, but creating linear models given slope and a point, okay? Solve the problem using an equation in point slope form. Paul wants to place an ad in a newspaper. The newspaper charges $10 for the first 2 lines of text and $3 for each additional line of text. Paul's ad is 8 lines long. How much will the ad cost? So what we got to do, well, in this case, we have a couple different things. We don't know what the slope is necessarily, but we have 2 points. We have $10 for 2 lines and $3. I'm sorry, we do have the slope. $3 for each additional line of text. Okay, so the 1 point is I've got 2 lines cost $10. So 210 is on the line. $3 per line after that, that is our slope, right? $3 per line. I misread the question earlier. Okay, $3 per line. Per, that's one of those words that we're probably going to indicate slope. It's not every time, but a lot of times it's going to indicate slope. So I've got m is 3. This point is on the line, 2 comma 10. I write out my equation in point slope form. This is the first part. Y minus y1, so y minus 10, equals m, which is 3, times x minus x1. X1 was 2. That's the equation. Don't do anything else to it. Okay, that's part 1. The second part is solve for what they're asking for. It said Paul's ad is 8 lines long. How much will the ad cost? In other words, so 8, that's my x value. Y minus 10 equals 3 times 8 minus 2. I can do 8 minus 2 is 6, times 3 is 18. Add 10 to both sides, 28. This is the major second part of what you're trying to get to. The written part. The cost of 8 lines is $28. If you just write 28, I have no idea what you're going for. Use math writing. The cost of 8 lines is $28. Okay, what does this look like, Mr. Raymond? Good question. I'm going to write on the right-hand side. I'm going to do this here. Paul would like to shop for the best price to place the ad. A different newspaper has a base cost of $15 for 3 lines and $2 for every extra line. How much will the same 8-line ad cost in this paper? Okay, here's point slope form. My point is I've got 3 lines cost $15. 3 lines cost $15, and it's $2 per line after that. I have my point, 315, and my slope, 2. Y minus y1, which is 15, equals m, which is 2, times x minus x1, which is 3. So if you're looking here, if you're keeping track at home in the boxes, this is what I would be putting in the boxes. I don't like to write in the boxes. Okay, that's the point slope form. This is part 1, getting the equation. Part 2 is actually solving for it. So I've got an 8-line ad. y minus 15 equals 2 times 8 minus 3. On the right-hand side, I have 2 times 8 minus 3. Well, 8 minus 3 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. If I solve for y by adding 15 to both sides, I get y equals 25. So 25 what? In other words, the cost of 8 lines is $25. So if you want to look at the boxes in here, this was 15. This would have been 8 minus 3. This is 10. And you get to 25 there. But this is my second part, my other really, really important part, actually the more important part. I don't want to say that. They're both very important. Getting the equation and then also interpreting what you're getting. Okay. Okay, I am skipping 5, the reflect. I'm going right to your turn. I'm going right to your turn. Daisy purchases a gym membership. She pays a sign-up fee and a monthly fee of $11. After 4 months, she has paid a total of $59. Use a linear equation in point slope form to find the sign-up fee. Go ahead and hit pause right there. I should play the Jeopardy theme song right in here. Okay, hopefully you paused. Let's come back and look. She pays a sign-up fee and a monthly fee of $11. Ooh, monthly fee. So something that happens per month. Ooh, I think that's going to be my slope. After 4 months, she's paid a total of $59. Use a linear equation in point slope form to find the sign-up fee. We're going to talk about that. Let's get our equation real quick, right? So after 4 months, so our M was 11. After 4 months, she paid $59. I've got a point and a slope. Y minus 59 equals 11 times X minus 4. So in other words, what is the initial fee? That's when the months are equal to 0. When I have 0 months. So in other words, when X equals 0 is what we're trying to find. The sign-up fee, 0 months. So let's go ahead. Y minus 59. Ooh, that's a bad Y. Y minus 59 equals 11 times 0 minus 4. Okay, I'm going to write the X equals 0 up here. All right. And so I'm going to work here now. On the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, I still have Y minus 59. On the right side, I have 11 times 0 minus 4. Well, 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 11 is negative 44. If I want to solve for y, I'm going to add 59 to both sides, and y equals 15. Yay, 15, I'm done. No. We need to write it out. The sign-up fee was $15. The sign-up fee, ooh, let's see if I can get some room here. The sign-up fee was $15. That is the important part in there. This equation, this outcome. The sign-up fee was $15. All right, all right. So that is what I want you guys to look at here. We're gonna do one more. I'm gonna just show you one more example. What if you had 2 points on the line and needed to write in point slope form? Well, if you got 2 points, the beauty of that is you can find the slope. 2, 1, and 3, 4 are on the line. Find your slope, plug them in, find the slope. Okay, we get the slope M equals 3. And here's a great thing. Mr. Braman, which of these is right? Which of these points do I plug in? Yes, whichever one you want. They're both correct. And we're going to look at something in a little bit, not in this video, but a little later, to show you some really interesting stuff. So let's go ahead and look at this again. We can plug it either. Again, 2, 1 was one of the points. That's up here. That's what this equation looks like. Or y minus 4 equals 3 times x minus 3. That's another one of the points. They're both the same. They got different numbers, but they would turn out to be the same equation, and we'll show you that later on. Let me do an example with you real quick. 1, 3, and 2, 3 are on the line. So let's do our slope here. I'm going to call this a y2 would be 3 minus y1, which is 3. Then x2 is 2 minus x1 is 1. Well, 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 divided by 1 is still 0. So you can choose either point. If you got 0 on here, I'm going to use 1, 3. So y minus 3 equals m, which is 0, times x minus 1. Or if I use the second one, y minus 3 equals 0 times x minus 2. Either one of these would have been correct. Either one of these are correct, in fact. Okay, so let's go ahead. Again, I am ignoring right now the reflect part. I'm going to skip right down to the equation, to your turn. So go ahead, push pause, and when you come back, we'll do these. All right, there we go. Okay, the one thing I got to do is find the slope. You don't have to write both of them. You just got to write one, okay? So if I do that, I'm going to say m equals, I'm going to treat this as x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. I'm going to say this is 1 minus 4 divided by 3 minus 2, which is negative 3 divided by 1, which as far as I can tell is negative 3. And now I just need to write an equation. I'm going to use the first one. Actually, I'll write them both. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to rewrite this with m equals negative 3. But you guys saw the work. I'm going to write both of them. Y minus, by the way, yeah, both. That's the message. Yeah, both is what you need to email me. Yeah, both. Yeah, both. So we got y minus 4 equals negative 3 times x minus 2. Or you could have had y minus 1 equals negative 3 times x minus 3. Either one is correct. Let's look at number 9. 0, 1, and 1, 1 are on the line. Let's figure out our slope. This is x1, y1, and x2, y2. M equals 1 minus 1 divided by 1 minus 0. This gives us 0 divided by 1, which is 0. So our slope is 0. And we can write either one of them in there. Y minus 1 equals 0 times x minus 0. Or you could have had y minus 1 equals 0 times x minus 1. And they would both be correct. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. There'll be a part 2 to this one, creating a linear model. But you guys have enough to get started with. Get it going.